happening, y'all? Welcome back. This is episode 151 of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. Mara's making a strange face because I think I scared her. I am your host, the self-knighted Sir Cussalott Travis Pointer, aka the Dragon King, aka Big T, aka T Money, aka Sweet T, aka Black Merlin, aka the HNIC. And I am joined as always by my co-host Mara the Shark Watkins.
Hello.
How's it going tonight, Mara?
I'm about 4 glasses of wine deep, and yep.
I'm only on my second glass, but my second glass is an entire pint of a glass, so
There's that.
What you doing,
I'm
man?
only doing I'm doing like small amounts in my glass, so. But like how you would like a regular wine glass, but like I've now had several of
Yeah,
those.
that's how you're supposed to fill a wine glass. It makes sense. This is a goblet though, so my rules are different.
Yeah, there is that.
I just, more wine, and I pour it myself because there's nobody here to actually pour me more wine, but still. I think the dog should do it, but he won't do it because, he's selfish. But we're not here to talk about, wine or my selfish dog who won't pour me wine. We're here to talk about the Arrowverse on the CW. Supergirl, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, Black Lightning, Batwoman, Stargirl, Superman and Lois. All of them. So let's do that.
Let's do it. Let's get into it.
Let's talk about them. Where you want to start?
Let's start with DC Legend of Tomorrow because we neither one of us.
Because it's Legends, and it's just it's.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Legends, though. Like it's not that Legends is bad, but Legends is on a consistent level of we know what we're getting with Legends.
Yeah.
And hats off to them for being consistent and knowing like this is where we are, and this is what we'll do every week. Consistency
Is what's up.
Consistency is good, as per our previous conversation.
Mm-hmm. Imagine if I really just got into my feels like that.
Yeah, that'd be awful. We don't need that right now. Like,
no, I got all of that
honestly, I would clip it out and share the fuck out of it over and over again if you did. But
I got all that out over the weekend. We're here to talk about DC.
You didn't record that?
What? No.
Why not?
I don't think I look cute when I cry, so I don't record that.
You let the people be the judge of that. All right.
I'm good on that. I don't need the world see what I look like when I'm vulnerable because then they'll know when I'm vulnerable. And that's how the terrorists win.
I guess.
I get high and I know things, so.
What was this episode of Legends called?
Bishop's Gambit.
You still sound really echoey. Try bringing your microphone closer or something.
Bishop's Gambit.
Oh, that sounds so much better.
Oh, go figure that. All we had to do was just move this bitch closer.
Yeah. You being further away from the microphone was the problem. So
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I just need to, not have you sound bad on audio because people stop listening if they don't like the way it sounds.
As a person who skips YouTubes like that, I respect that and I get it.
Yeah.
This also makes my eyes look like a hint of green, so this is kind of cool.
I can see your ring light in your glasses too.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You don't have to be sorry about it. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing that out. It's not bad,
Well, because my ring light's kind of like in my face.
You gotta like keep your head tilted down slightly while you talking to the microphone so they can't see your ring light.
I don't want to do that. That's gonna hurt my neck.
Oh man. So what did you say the episode was called?
Bishop's Gambit.
Yeah. So we find out right at the beginning of this episode that the bishop that she's talking to is a clone.
Of
Sarah being the
himself.
she. Yeah, he cloned himself over and over again, kind of like he cloned Ava, but he's like not like that because there's only one at a time and blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, you keep cloning
Only
yourself.
me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Important to know because if you get rid of the clone, then that's it. But then we got Mick and Kayla. They're off on their adventure. They land on the planet.
It took me mad long to remember what her name was, and it took me also equally as long to remember what fucking episode I said her name last in.
Yeah, well, for me, it was the same. But eventually in the episode, they said her name, so I went back and fixed it.
Yeah, I
Because for
kept
a
saying
while,
Alien Shorty.
yeah, 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 that's similar. I was like, tentacle alien is what I called her for a while.
Uh,
Then we got John. He's annoyed at all these people in his motherfucking house, which I get it. I get it. If that many random people were in my house, I'd be like, yo, when the fuck are y'all leaving?
Facts. I'm not
Uh,
with the shits. Please leave.
yeah, we got Mick coming face to face with some Ava clones. Doesn't go well for me. Like they take him and shit.
And then someone takes off the wave rider. Like, the fuck?
Yeah, we're like, who the fuck is that? And then we find out it's Amelia Earhart. Um,
Gets put in a mental asylum.
who called her and then called herself Sarah Lance in the mental asylum. Um, yeah. The team goes like, yo, we got to go get this alien because apparently she killed everybody in the fucking asylum and then killed a bunch of other people. Like, let's go get her before that happens.
Before she does it, for real.
Yeah. So they go get her and bring her back to John's house, which once again, if I'm John, I'm pissed. So now you bring this murderous alien into my house now too. Like, what the fuck?
Yo, but I don't know. I can't speak
But
to it.
my next question is,
I would never do this.
here's my question. How'd they time travel without the ship?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how Ava was able to boot up Gideon without the ship. Like, I thought Gideon was just...
She attached it with some other shit in the house, and some arcane shit plus the old technology. They were talking about how difficult it was and all that. I'm okay with that. They just never explained how they went back to 1956 without the Wave Rider. Like, their means of time travel was the Wave Rider, and yeah, they somehow went back in time without the Wave Rider. Didn't explain
Somehow,
it.
I couldn't explain it to you.
Clearly, they couldn't either, and they just didn't. Yeah, Amelia Earhart. We find out she's actually like an alien fused with Amelia Earhart.
She's a hybrid.
Yeah, some hybrid shit. Gary shows up where Sarah is locked up in her room. He goes in through the toilet because he's kind of like an octopus.
So he can, squirm his way through.
Yeah. But apparently, he found fuel cells, so they can use those and get the fuck up out of there. Kayla sees him and gets him caught.
Shit, but I get it.
Yeah. So Sarah's got a plan to get her, in with Bishop and get away, but I'm gonna just stroke his ego, and that's how I'm gonna get in with him.
Take off the cups.
She's got cups on.
Cuffs.
Yeah, I don't know what cups she taking off. I mean, like she taking her titties off. Like, what are you like?
No, I switched to water. Don't worry.
Okay. Let's see. Then we go back to the house where they're doing this in Constantine's house, where they just go. Ava decides she's just gonna go off on Amelia Earhart, and the alien comes out, makes her freak out. Spooner tranquilizes it, so they're all right now. For now,
right. It was like now the hybrid part of her is awake. So good job, guys.
Great job. Bishop finds out that Mick is on the planet. He's like, yo, I'm gonna lower this barrier that keeps all the little toxic atmosphere out, so I'm gonna kill him.
And there's also creatures in those on the outside of the barrier that don't want to come across. But the
Yeah,
same shit that Amelia is hybrided with.
yeah. You don't want none of that. Um, so Spooner's like reading the alien memories and shit with. Oh no, Astra was doing that, not Spooner. Um, she got to do the spell because John sacrifices power. That's when you see that actually is Amelia Earhart, but then you find out later on she's fused with an alien. Because Bishop experimented on her and like fused her with that alien. She broke free. She attacks.
Which makes Spooner nervous about her own self.
Like, yeah, am I gonna turn into an alien? Did I get fused with him or some shit? Which we don't know.
We
Possibly.
don't. And we do see her speaking like alien, like full on
Yeah.
later on.
So we go back to that planet. Mick is tied to a tree just to get, so he can get consumed by the toxic shit because the Avas are just dicks like that. Um, he gets himself loose though, but somehow he just has a gas mask in his pocket because, you know, they can't kill Mick yet.
Right. I was just like, is this how we're doing it?
Yeah.
Is this
Just
how we're gonna do it?
the mic, get closer, please.
I was like, is this how we're gonna do it?
Yeah. So
I always find it funny, like when they announce that like one of them is leaving, and then all of a sudden we see like these life or death situations, and we're like, is this? Are you telling me you're gonna kill them so there's no way they can come back? Is this how we do? It's crazy that game. I feel like this is a Game of Thrones trauma reaction of how Game of Thrones was just like, don't get attached to anybody.
the good thing about Legends is they can mix and match people like that. So it's just like if somebody goes away, you can replace it. But I don't think Mick is one of those characters I don't think you can replace though. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't really replace Mick like that.
yeah. Like Brandon Ruth character. What was his name?
Adam.
Yeah, Black Adam. Not Adam, the Atom.
Yeah.
What the fuck was his name in the show though? Why can't I remember his name? I know Mick called him haircut. What the fuck was his name?
Looking it up. There's Safari on my computer. Ray Palmer.
Huh?
Ray Palmer.
Ray, yeah. Like they replaced him with Nate, basically. Like, yeah, they were on
Yeah.
there at the same time, but they're basically, replaced one nerd with the other. Like that was what they did. Nate's a different type of nerd, but he kind of still feels that hopeless romantic nerd role.
Yeah.
But can you really replace Mick? Like, not really.
No. Because it's not like we have Captain Cold.
Yeah. So, Gary saves some Ava and brings her back one of the clones.
Oh yeah, he brings her back outside when the barrier is coming down because they were like, "Is this a drill or is this real?" They were like, "This is definitely real."
Yeah. Um, then we get this moment with Zari confronting John about why he had Astra do the shit, but Astra covers for him.
Something's going on with John, and then you realize that John doesn't have his magic.
Yeah. They established that last week. He sacrificed his magic last week, so like we know he doesn't have it. But yeah.
Not
So
ready to tell Zari for
yeah,
whatever
or
reason.
anybody. He didn't want to tell anybody. That's the thing.
I can
Um,
understand not telling the whole team, but Zari's his partner. That's my only thing.
yeah, but it's part of who he is. He thinks it'll make him feel weak, is what I'm guessing.
And they won't have a reason to keep him around, and it's just like
It's one of those
you're
things
needed.
where like, listen, it's a guy thing. I just need you to understand this.
I get it.
Do you though? Do you?
No, but I
Exactly.
do, but I don't.
Um, so yeah, Mick comes across Kayla. He gives her the gas mask so she don't die. Some more.
They just they swap it out. How cute.
Yeah, yeah. We got some more Sarah and Bishop shit where Bishop like, yo, I had to kill Mick because fuck him. Um,
To which Sarah is just like, that's not what I agreed to.
yeah, yeah. Then we get a bonding moment between Mick and Kayla about how they both just hate people because people suck, and I get it, people do suck. Um,
Human race is horrible.
so then we got Spooner is hearing the Mia Earhart alien, and it's just she's coming to her. Okay, cool.
The alien that, or the creature that she is hybrided with, is called a, I think a Zagaron. A Zagaron.
Okay,
They're from that planet that Bishop or whatever, wherever the fuck they are. That they're all on the pink planet, I will call it.
okay. Um,
I
so
can throw you off
after that whole
easily.
thing with Sarah and Bishop, Sarah attacks, kind of whoops his ass a little bit, and she's like, "Yo,
Little bit.
yeah, yeah, thoroughly." I'm like, "I'm gonna put an end to you for good." So that's the thing. She's like, clearly she's gonna get rid of the clone. So, um, then we got Mick and Kayla. They're running away from those other aliens and shit. End up getting it on in the pod.
I
Cause
do have to say one thing about Bishop. I don't like the sing-songy way that he says things.
okay.
It's very pedophilic to me.
Oh really?
Or like not even pedophilic, like just rapey. Just kind of like creepy vibe. Like I don't like the way of him singing like
He
you
insists
can't
upon
beat
himself.
you can't beat me.
Yeah,
Or you can't you like I
I get it. He insists upon himself. It's just what it is. It's like that's a Family Guy line when Peter was talking about the Godfather, why he didn't like the Godfather because it insists upon himself.
yeah, I don't
Same
like
thing.
it.
Bishop insists upon himself. Um,
But yeah, so she she beats him the fuck up and she takes him, she drags him to this room that he states he was gonna show her anyway.
yeah, yeah.
And they're talking about their scars
So
and
we're
what it,
just gonna skip over the alien sex. Like,
that's not even till later,
no, this is
right?
now, right after this. Mick and Kayla get it on that pod, like in between here.
Right.
Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, but we knew they were gonna do it anyway. The
but I
moment they were,
didn't know she was gonna turn back in her tentacle alien self while they did it.
I mean, I wouldn't have expected it, but it doesn't surprise me that Mick would be okay with it either.
Alien sex.
There was a lot of
Um,
sex this week. There was more sex than there usually is this week.
there was. There definitely was. So we get the Spooner with Earhart alien. Um, she says she killed Sarah. They're like, you didn't kill Sarah. We saw
I was
Sarah.
right. I was like, we know otherwise.
And then we find out, no, she killed Sarah because this Sarah's a fucking clone. Sarah is fucking dead again.
And now everyone but Dig is from Arrow's theoretically dead.
Yeah, everybody from Arrow except for Diggle.
Lila,
Who?
Lila,
Lila. Felicity didn't die.
Felicity, and his spawn.
Mia.
Thank you.
she
You would
said,
think I would remember that
she
name.
said his spawn. Wait,
JJ,
what's
JJ,
his
and the other one.
what's his son's name? Because he came before the other spawn. I knew who you were talking about when you said his
Oh,
spawn.
I was like, who? Did I miss something?
The son came first, Mara.
You can see how far out of my brain he has become. That show has become.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's something generic.
William. It's William. I
Thank
remembered.
you.
I just remembered.
It's generic asshole.
Yeah, yeah. In my head, I kept saying Philip. I'm like, no, it's not Philip. What is it? What is it? What is it? And I'm thinking about, and then I heard Mia say William. I'm like, that's his name. But yeah, Sarah's a fucking clone. So
Yeah, Sarah's dead, guys.
again,
The
because she's
original people from the first season of Arrow are all now have at least once died,
except for Dick.
except for Dick. They are not dead, or they are not human, or they have died at least once and come back.
Speaking of
Sarah,
Dig, you want to go to Batwoman next?
yeah, of course I do, because Dig showed up in Batwoman.
Yo, listen. When I tell you I'm watching Batwoman and I saw him, I'm like, Diggle! Like, I was so excited to see John. Like,
Can't scream like that in my house. My kid's sleeping.
well, yeah, yeah. But like when I'm watching it, I was so excited to see him. The dog looked at me with true judgment, and I'm like, "Fuck you! Don't judge me." Anyway, what was the name of this Batwoman
Rebirth.
episode? Rebirth.
Reminds me of a certain series of the DC comic books.
Aha!
I really want to find out where I can read everything without having to pay for it.
I'm about to say, without having to pay for it, nowhere. You're gonna have to give DC that money and just pay for the app and sit down and read them for a month and then move on.
I could do that. I should do
Mm-hmm.
that over the summer.
Like you really just need to devote yourself to like, okay, I'm going to, I'm just gonna read these this month.
Because I've been wanting to read Rebirth.
I
So,
mean, Rebirth is what we're in now still, but just kind of get caught up with Rebirth makes sense. Um, because that's the universe they put us in now, so that's what we're staying in.
I mean, I got back into comics like with Rebirth. So like
Mm-hmm.
when Rebirth came
Well, yeah,
out.
New
So
52 was trash. So let me, you know what? Let me fix that. It wasn't trash. We just know DC can do better, and that's what Rebirth was.
touche.
But yeah, um, but anyway, back to Batwoman. Um, so this episode, wait, what was the name of the episode again?
Rebirth.
Right, Rebirth. So this episode kicks off with some like ninja attack something was happening. Um, this dude gets stabbed. Batwoman comes in and stops the ninja chick from killing this dude. She was like, "Yo, Luke, I need you to call help and all that," but he ain't hearing it because he ain't even there no more. He done left the comms. He's just sitting up on the roof,
Yeah,
contemplating
just
life and shit.
right. I was like contemplating life.
um, but yeah, Batwoman stops her. She gets help for him. He's all right. He ends up living. But this ninja chick takes his laptop and gets away.
Or
Um,
whatever she needs it for.
yeah. So Batwoman shows up. She goes to talk to Luke, and he was like, "Yo, I just need some time alone," which I get it. He legit almost died. So
But it's also that he didn't want to come back. I mean, we saw that last week. He was genuinely disappointed that he woke up.
yeah, yeah. They gave him the Desert Rose and said, "Fuck your daddy." Like that was basically what happened. Not on purpose, but that's what happened. Um, then we see Roman Sionis. He's watching the news. He's not happy about it. Roman Sionis being Black Mask. Um, he's like not happy because they're praising Big Daddy Kane for coming forward and speaking up about how the Crows are corrupt now and all that. Sophia is there with him. I had to,
She wants Cersei's help with something.
no lie, I had to look up and remember what her name was because I could not remember what the fuck her name was. I'm like, I know this. I know her. I know who she is. I just can't remember what her name was.
Sophia.
Yeah, yeah. Sophia. Not to be confused with
Tobias. I'm happy you heard it the same way.
Should I say her name that way from now on? Like Sophia.
That's how I feel like if we had like someone narrating over every scene, that's how they would describe it. Sophia enters the room.
Yeah, if Cress Williams was on this show for somehow, he would say her name like Sophia. Oh man.
But she also tells Sianis that it was dumb to bring Kate and Alice together because, like, stupid, she's gonna figure it out.
And guess what? She figured it out.
Right. And here we are with this episode.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, she fully looks like Cersei now though, like the rejuvenation creams and all his little surgeries and all that kind of stuff. So Kate fully looks like Cersei. No more scars and all that because they had to stop doing that.
they were like, this costs too much.
Not even that. Like the actress probably wants to see her face on television, so we're gonna
There is that.
like we'll get her on TV. So we figure out that the ninja chick from the earlier
Tatiana.
is Tatiana. She's looking for somebody who is in witness protection, and yeah, so there's that.
I don't care about that right now.
I really don't like that. Seems so secondary to what's going on.
Yeah.
Alice
So
and Big Daddy Kane have a little get together with Kate / Cersei because
they take her.
Yeah, she convinces him that like, yo, that's Kate. So let's go get this girl.
He's just like, what else I got to lose? Like,
Yeah.
why? Like, what else? Like, why else would Alice come to me with this? Like,
Microphone.
Why else would Alice come to me with this if it wasn't true?
Yeah. So
Ocean also gets to meet Papa Kane after
that
this.
too, but they're like, yo, we're gonna jog your memory with like personal shit. So that's our plan. And he's like trying to impress Big Daddy Kane, and he's like, yeah, call me, call me old school, call me traditionalist, whatever he said.
Yeah, he's just like, this is important to Alice, so I'm here. I guess.
I need to impress her father. It's just kind of what I do.
Luke goes to some bar that Tavaroff also happens to be at.
Before that, we see that Cersei took some dude's eyes, and that's the dude the ninja chick is after. Yeah.
I didn't care about this so much either, so I stopped listening, but I knew that they were all talking.
Yeah. Apparently, Cersei took the dude's eyes at some point. So, yeah. But yeah, Luke goes to this bar. It's a cop bar or a Gotham cop bar. And he confronts, that asshole Crow. I still don't know his name.
Tavaroff.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck him. And that's when we see
Diggle.
good old John Diggle in the building. Through some other stuff we find out he's there to go to Gotham General about his, the ringing in his head and all that kind of stuff. Clearly has to do with what happened on that last episode of Arrow where we know he found that fucking Green Lantern ring. Like that's the thing. So something's going on with him.
The lantern ring is slowly changing him, and he's just like, I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Because they don't know anything about the Green Lanterns, so let's see. We got Kate starting to remember because they're jogging her memory and all that.
They have a small breakthrough, but Papa Kane is, kind of concerned because he's like, some of that stuff ain't true. Like that's not what happened.
Yeah.
But Alice is like, shut up and keep going with the plan.
Mm-hmm. Then we got this confrontation between Luke and Ryan because
he tells Ryan, where I didn't want to wake up. Y'all did this. I'm only here because y'all made me.
Yeah. Big Daddy Kane tells Mary that Kate's alive. But then as soon as he does that, False Face attacks, in wherever Big Daddy Kane and Alice are with Kate. Kate runs away because Alice says, you need to get the fuck up out of here.
She's like, I'll find you later, I swear.
She does not. Guess who does find her? Ryan,
Ryan
as
or
Batwoman,
Batwoman.
finds Kate.
I've been
But
calling her Cersei/Kate in my notes.
I call her Kate in quotation marks, because she's still not quite Kate yet, but she's Kate.
Yep.
Um,
We're back at Luke, and he's playing. I want to say poker. I'm not really good at these games.
yeah, Texas Hold'em,
Yeah.
poker, yeah. Um,
And he beats him, even though Tavaroff cheated, which
yeah,
just continues to show me how much of a fucking idiot he is.
yeah, he's a piece of shit. He's even a piece of shit at cheating at poker.
Right. Like, you can't even cheat right.
No, he can't cheat right. We saw that last week. like,
Like, no matter what, you can't, you can't even convince this, you can't even do that right to
yeah,
cover up a dirty shooting right. But you're going to try again with poker. I'm still trying to set up.
yeah. So now we see False Face has captured Big Daddy Kane. And we also find out a bunch of them are actually cops. So
Yeah,
yeah, you're
they don't
fucked,
have.
sir.
They don't hesitate to tell to like confirm that GCPD is also still corrupt
Yeah, yeah. So they arrest him because
for aiding and abetting Alice.
yeah. And then in an alley, that asshole Crow decides he's just gonna attack Luke because he's mad that Luke beat him.
Tavaroff and Luke duke it out.
Yeah, but Diggle comes to the rescue and stops that shit.
And I'm gonna need Tavaroff to stop talking about respect.
Yeah,
I'm
you
tired
get
of
no
these what
respect because you're a piece of shit.
I'm
So
tired of these white because last week it was Bruce. This week it's Tavaroff. I'm gonna need y'all to stop talking about respect. On God.
yeah. So Ryan brings Kate to Wayne Tower. Um, Sophie shows up and Kate immediately recognizes her.
I was like, is she the key? Fuck.
Yeah,
Sophie's the key?
fucking Sophie. Yeah. She doesn't immediately recognize Mary, but Kate,
But
like,
Sophie.
Sophie, yeah. But Sophie, really?
No issues.
Yeah.
I wish I could make
Um,
the rules. I don't.
then at some point, Kate ends up just freaking out and attacking Mary because she's still not quite, herself.
Well, and then they realize that Cersei and Kate are actually duking it out in her brain
Yeah.
because Mary carries around like tranquilizer on on hand.
I mean, you live in Gotham City, it makes sense. Um,
This is true.
then we got Luke and Diggle having a talk, and Diggle just kind of peps Luke back up eventually. Like, yo, for
Like
somebody who didn't want to be alive, you seem pretty important, you know.
you
And
seem to be pretty cared about.
yeah, the team calls for Luke using Morse code with the bat signal. This is when we find out why Diggle is there when he's like, yeah, I'm here to go to Gotham General because
They're going to see the world-renowned neurosurgeon,
yeah, look at my brain.
neurologist.
Yeah, something's wrong with my brain. Come look at it.
It's not though.
Yeah,
And then Alice is with uh, Sophia, and Sophia tells Alice that
well,
you
before
can.
that, she sees Big Daddy Kane defending her on the news, and
Oh
she
yeah,
gets
he
that.
humanizes her to the public.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, back to what you were saying.
She tells her that Koreana burned down completely, and she killed several villagers. And
Alice don't give a shit.
right, she's just like okay. And so Batwoman shows up with her desert rose to trade for Alice. Sophia is just like, why are you doing this? This, as especially like what she is to you. She's just like, I owe a debt to Kate Kane for what she stands for.
Mm-hmm.
And Sophia takes the trade, but then she alludes to Alice that Ocean ain't safe, boo boo.
Yeah, she already sent Tatiana after Ocean, so yeah.
She was like, no matter what, even if we killed you, we also were going to kill Ocean anyway. And so Alice, wants to go find Ocean, and Batwoman's just like, I don't want to do that. We don't need to do that. And Alice goes anyway. And she runs into Tatiana, and she gives Tatiana the bucket. And then you find out that Ocean also got his bucket kicked. But I mean, that's, I guess, to humble Alice. Now you can see that you can't have everything.
Yep. Um, then we see we have this conversation between Big Daddy Kane and Mary. He's like, "Yo, they're transferring me to Metropolis, where I'll be more safe because most of these people in this prison, I put them here, so I can't stay in Gotham."
Because they will kill me in here.
Yeah. But also, Kate's gone back to Black Mask, and she's like, "Yo, I got questions." She stabs him in the hand and like, "Yo, what the fuck is going on?" Basically.
And he's just like, no, I swear. And Sophia comes in. She's like, tell her, or I'm going to tell.
Yeah. And that's the end of Batwoman. We got 2 episodes left, Mar.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, yeah. 2 more episodes left in this season. Where you want to go next? Because these last two were a doozy.
Let's go with. Fuck.
Yeah, I know. I know. Make a choice.
The
They were both
Flash.
a doozy. Okay.
Let's just go in order. We're just going in order this week.
Superman Lois comes on before the Flash, right?
Does it?
Yeah.
I don't know why I kept thinking it was that the Flash came on first. I mean,
Superman
Flash
Lois.
and Superman and Lois are the only two that I don't watch um the day of. So I never know.
Yeah. But Flash. So we kicked this episode off. Before that, though, what's the name of the episode?
Masquerade.
So
Not
we
to
get
be confused with Castaways. Don't ask. It's a TikTok song. It's stuck in my head right now. I'm trying to ignore it.
You're not doing a very good job.
I know. At least I'm not singing it.
Cool. Don't do that. So we kicked this episode off. Joe and Cecile are hanging out and chilling. We throw out another excuse as to why the baby's not around because that's just what they do. They just I don't know why they even bothered having the baby when they just, you know,
They don't want to pay the baby's family.
they don't have to pay the baby's family. They could use a fucking doll. Like it's just like
Nah, because the dolls be mad obvious. I'm trying to remember what
not if
show.
you don't show the face. Like it's just
No, I forget what show it is. There's some show I watch or one. It's one of these shows, and like it was very obvious when they were using a baby doll versus like an actual baby.
it's also very obvious when they're just finding excuses to not have the kid around because they don't want to do it. Like it's
Yeah,
just,
like that's what I'm saying. Like it's just easier to be like, oh yeah, Jenna's at your mom's, because where else would she be?
is that the baby's name?
Jenna.
I'll forget again. Um,
I can't forget it. It's my cousin's name.
mm, well, I guess I did. I used to know somebody named Jenna. But anyway,
They find out that Kramer used to be uh, based somewhere called Fort Dakota, and it's not in her DoD file. And I was like, suspicious. And she replaced him as captain at CCPD. I'm practically making out with my mic at this point.
I mean, I'm just saying be closer to it because
Okay.
further away, it just sounds like echoes. So
Okay, well, Joe leaves to find more information. And Cecile all of a sudden changes, and you see that the real Cecile is locked in her brain.
the real Cecile.
Yeah, I kept writing Cecile, like the one that we were seeing, in italics, and then I would put the one in her brain as real Cecile.
I have her down as the Cecile that's like out in the world and shit with people in quotation marks, and then I just call the other one Cecile. So yes, we both have our own thing. I get it.
We see that Cisco Chester has updated the workroom to fit his own vision,
Yeah, yeah.
and it looks nice.
It does. It does. He installed speakers and shit. The speakers aren't all the way working yet, but he's working on it.
And he's cataloging the Starchives. I was like, you are off to a good start here.
Tries to start a dance party with Kate, but Caitlin, but she's like, I got two left feet. Like, I don't give a fuck. We're gonna dance anyway.
And
But
then
he goes
so
back to the
he
archives, and there's someone in there.
Starchives.
Yeah,
It's Barry and Iris, and they are both disheveled. And I was like, Barry and Iris were fucking.
they making babies.
Could
They
you
baby
imagine?
making.
I feel like that'd be so exciting.
Barry
Like,
was vibrating in that
I feel like
pussy.
I feel like that must be so exciting. Like when you actually are planning for children,
I can
because it's just
imagine
like,
so.
you know what I'm saying? Like any moment, you're just like, let's fuck.
Let's
This
try
could be
again.
it,
Let's try
right?
now.
Like this
Let's
could
try
be
right
it
now.
right now, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that
yeah,
has to be so much fun and so exciting when you're actually planning to have children,
yeah,
not like unexpectedly.
yeah. When you're just like, yo, it's Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but I'm just like, let's try again.
I have a Zoom at 2:45. Trust me, I'll be done by 2:15.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need 15 minutes tops. All right, let's make this happen.
But so Barry and Cecile are talking, and she's asking his view on a case she's working on, and he's just like, Cecile, you've done something similar to this before, and she's just like, yeah, okay, sleep.
Glowy eyes.
Right? She's like, yeah, sleep, nigga. And so then I was like, is Cecile the big bad now? No. We'll come back to that later, though. My
We still
thoughts
don't.
on that.
We still don't have a big bad.
Yeah,
So
we'll come back to my thoughts on that later.
okay.
And then so Barry wakes up and he's in a padded room with the real Cecile.
The real Cecile.
And then Cecile is at Star Lab where she brings Barry's body and he's in a coma. He's in a coma.
It's
And they were
not a
like,
coma, but it is a coma.
and then
That
they were
was a
like, yo,
kindergarten cop reference for you all that didn't get it.
I haven't seen that, so I didn't catch it. I'm sorry.
You haven't seen Kindergarten Cop?
No.
That's right up there when I found out a certain someone hasn't seen D2 The Mighty Ducks. I'm just like, how have you not seen the second Mighty Ducks movie, but you've seen the first? The second one is the good one, like the best one. Mara, have you not seen D2 either?
In full, I have no idea. I know I'd watch it when it was on Disney, but have I seen it from start to finish? I couldn't recall to tell you.
Really? Wow.
For the record that I can't recall, I'll just say no.
Awful. Both of y'all. I need to just enlighten both of your lives. Anyway, what were we talking about? Because I'm just completely distracted by the fact that I found out you haven't seen D2.
Oh, they asked Cecile to see if they feel anything in Barry's mind. And she's like, something about a
Cecile.
golden mask.
Mm-hmm.
And then real Cecile tells Barry that she's been in this room since the Force Storm. And he was like, yo, that was weeks ago.
Yeah, like so we just been hanging out with this fake ass Cecile all this time. God damn.
Barry's just like, not this shit again of like being fooled by people in the real world.
Exhausting. It's exhausting.
And so the door opens to this padded room, and Cecile's like, what if it's a trap? And Barry's like, I'm not staying here any longer.
This room is a trap, so it doesn't even fucking matter. So
like he's like, we gotta
trapped
go.
here or trapped out there. What do you want? Like
and real Cecile is like, what happens if we die in a
real
mindscape?
Cecile Holyfield. Not to be confused with the real deal Holyfield.
She's like, what it happens if we die in a mindscape? And he was like, oh, we'll die in real life.
Yup.
So back in like real world, Chester mentions that he calls Sue to come back. And it took me a minute to remember what her name was because I just called her Shorty that was always with Disney. um, to come
Yeah,
back and help because
I
she's a
was
world
like the
class
one that
renowned thief.
dingles Dibney's dick. Like I don't know. Took
The
me a minute.
one who got away, but then the one who came around.
Mm-hmm.
And
But yeah, they
she
get the
tells
idea. He
Chester,
calls her in because Cecile
she's a,
does this thing with Barry's head and like, yo, I see a golden mask and all that kind of
and
shit.
we gotta steal it back from the embassy
Yeah, yeah, all that kind of shit.
or the museum
I'm about
because
to say
the embassy gave it to the museum.
yeah, the museum, the Central City Museum.
And Sue points out to Chester like, this seems too easy. We should be doing more.
Yeah.
And he's just like, no, 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 this is good. We got this. So they're doing the mission, and Sue breaks into the room, and it's a lot of fucking lasers. And we also find out that she's a trained dancer who can prance around deadly fucking lasers.
Not unlike, a very similar character in Ocean's 12. Because, the dance around the lasers thing has been done before. But.
What can you say? So she disarms the lasers, and Cecile, um, you know, falls in after her. And meanwhile, in the brain, real Cecile and Barry are trying to find a way out, and they come across this portal. And Barry's like, "Oh, look, we can get out this way." And she's like, "I don't know." And then they're just like, "Oh, it's a trick. It's not real. It's about Cecile." And then
That
all of a
ain't
sudden, Barry
Cecile.
is knocked out again. And I was just like, "Wow, Barry, you're pretty useless this week."
How you get knocked out while you knocked out?
Inception.
That was my thing. Like, yo, you are already knocked unconscious. How your unconscious get knocked unconscious?
Just save it because you know that's not the last time. So then Caitlin starts to see the anomaly of the brain waves in Barry, and she sees that there's a third presence there. And they find out that the mask is after Cecile, not Barry. And she makes Sue trank herself. Iris tells Sue, that's not Cecile.
That is not my stepmama.
Right. So Sue, when she wakes up, Sue blames
That is
Chester.
not the woman that we made a porno with last week. Sorry, go ahead.
Um,
Pornhub.
Sue.
If you've been on Pornhub, you know that every porno on Pornhub right now is
Uh,
stepmothers. Like, I don't know why you're
I
acting
was
like
just,
that's
I didn't,
not.
I wasn't thinking that far. I was just like, what? Um, you know, Sue blames Chester, and she tells him that he got played by Cecile. You know, Iris tries to comfort him, fails at it because she's a Cowboys fan, so they naturally suck at that shit anyway.
I mean, they all got played though. That's the thing. So
Yeah, because I also said
everybody
like
but Sue got played. She was trying to let them know, like, yo, this don't seem right. But
because I was just like when they were talking about it later on, when Chester was talking to Iris about how he was upset because he doesn't have those bonds with everyone, so he couldn't tell that Cecile wasn't being Cecile. I was just like, Cecile is Iris's stepmother.
she couldn't tell either. So
Right. I was like, and she didn't think anything was off either. So it's going to take time for you to form those bonds. But to go back just a little bit, Cecile tells Barry that they are in St. Carmine's Mental Institute, which is somewhere right outside of Houston, Texas, where she used to be a patient because she had a breakdown when her mother died because she died alone from cancer, but she blamed herself for her mom dying. But it was
good
like,
thing,
Cecile, that was so out of your control.
good thing didn't execute it because they just do that in Texas. Sorry.
Apparently, some states trying to bring back gas executing, and people are like, "Why would you do that?"
Yeah, if you gonna kill them with the lethal injection, just do it that way. Why do you need people to suffer?
Because it's America, and America has never learned from their lessons. Haven't we learned this already?
Like, just put them to sleep and knock them out, take them out. Like, I don't know what you really need the gas for.
Because America has a sick way of just doing things. But I won't talk about that because we might get taken off the air. So, Barry tells Cecile that that he knows what she feels like, but she needs to heal. because she needs to confront her past. That's the only way she can get out of there. And when she starts facing it, he gets his powers back.
Indeed.
Because they realize that all the mask is doing is just amplifying her fears so that she stays weak because she's scared she's going to turn back into that fear, that, that scared person she was in the mental institute when she
Yeah,
broke down.
that whole thing with the other Cecile and the straight jacket thing, like, yo, that's creepy as fuck. I'm here
I
for it
won't
though.
I won't lie, the person who plays Cecile does crazy really good. Um, so the team realizes that the mask is gonna go for the thinker's chair because it'll help it bond with Cecile forever. And I will say, for the dumbest villain in the show's history, or the wackest villain in the history of the show, they sure do make quite use of his chair quite often now. It's like every season since The Thinker, like they have used his chair at least once for one
For
of their
some
issues.
reason, yeah.
So, I mean,
Which
kudos.
means he wasn't like a trash villain. It was trash execution of that villain. So
Yeah, because like clearly his tools were necessary. So um in Cecile's brain though, Barry saves Cecile from whatever her thoughts are, zapping the shit out of her, and then all of a sudden Barry's knocked out again. So I'm just like, wow, Barry, you are,
unconscious and you're unconscious again.
yeah. And then Cecile gets in the chair, Iris shoots at the chair, and I was just like, honestly, it's crazy how Barry is now kind of the only meta here aside from Cecile, and she's the one causing havoc. And I was like, where the fuck is Allegra? You got all these humans fighting against metas,
Yeah, yeah. And Frost is still away somewhere because
you know? And
be
so
helpful. Like,
you're free now. Be helpful. And then so real Cecile is facing her fears and she gets stronger and then she overpowers the mask just in time for Barry and her to go through this portal and him to wake up.
Hi there. By the way,
Shut up. My watch. Siri went off. And then at
because
the
you
end,
said Cecile, was it
probably
Cecile that set
she
her
be
off?
going off for no reason.
You
So
know,
and this
my in-house assistant does it when I mention a certain wrestler whose last name is Bliss. Um, because she has a very similar first name as this said device. So, like, if I'm on the Smacking It Raw podcast and I'll mention her, it'll think I'm talking to it, and I'll be like, "Yo, I was not talking to your ass." So it happens to me too. Is my point.
I get it. But so towards the end of this, they talk about that Argus is taking the mask back and Cisco's going to put it in a containment cell with mental dampeners. And I was like, why don't you guys just melt it down?
Yeah, destroy it.
I, like I get it's part of history and shit, but melt it the fuck down if you know how dangerous it is.
That makes too much sense. Why would they do that?
And it,
They
I
can't
guess
use it in future episodes if they melt it down.
I don't want them to use it again. But anywho, Sue says she's gonna stick around, and in true white privilege, she's staying in a penthouse at a really expensive sounding hotel because there's a terrace.
Mm-hmm.
And she invites everyone over to eat. Cecile says she will pass, and she's gonna go home and tell Joe about everything. And she does just that. And then so we get to like the next part of this, where Joe tells that Kristen Kramer, his replacement at CCPD, led her squad into an ambush which she was the only survivor.
So you're like, yo,
To
I think
which,
she was working with the enemy
yep,
as opposed to
and
sleeping with the enemy. Maybe she was sleeping with the enemy, but all we
keep
know
them
is,
both.
yeah, those two
And
things
then
do not have to
so,
be mutually exclusive.
and then so we see that next week instead of focusing on that story, we're gonna go with ultraviolet. We're gonna be looking for ultraviolet to change her good. To which I said, "The fuck are we doing with this show anymore? Is Kramer the big bad? Who is our big bad? What are we doing?" I'm
My
really
guess
kind of
would
over
be
the.
Kramer, but we'll see.
I'm really kind of, but it kind of just feels like we're going the same route that they went with the police captain in Black Lightning. Like, not to say that she's going to become a meta, but there's like this weird thing against metas, and it's going to be something where she either is some kind of meta or she's going
Look,
to be some kind of villain, whatever,
honestly, we're really just biding our time until
until they say they're ending it
well,
next
until
season,
their version
hopefully.
of the Tornado Twins show up, because we still know we're getting, Bart Allen
Them.
and the return of Nora Allen, and so we'll see. That's really what we're waiting for right now. So,
They need to come out the gate with that with the next season with the next season premiere. I
well, this
can't.
it's happening in this season. They filmed that stuff. Like we've seen set photos of them. So,
Touche.
yeah,
But yeah, let's get into Superman and Lois because this
not
is
Spider
becoming one
Man.
of my. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was playing last night, so
Oh, interesting.
I had to
Superman and
stop
Lois.
myself from continuing the story mode because I was like, it's almost 3 a.m. I gotta be up in 3 hours.
Shame. All right. Name of the episode.
Oh mother, where art thou?
So we kicked this episode off with some super bro shit.
Not my brother, nigga, is how we started this episode.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, Superman don't want to believe that this man is his brother. But we got the same mama.
His name is Tanro. Lara is his mother.
Talro. Tal. Talro.
Oh, Taro. You're right. Taro. And his father is called Zeta Ro.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to bring Krypton on Earth and their mother back.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, apparently he was sent to Earth before Clark, so he was there earlier. Um, yeah, you talking about he's trying to bring Krypton back on Earth and their mother, but Super's is like, nah, bruh. So Edge like, I'm gonna whoop your ass then.
I can't lie. The plot of what Edge is doing kind of reminded me of season 9 of Smallville, where General Zod was trying to bring back the Krypton. He was also trying to like kind of restore Kryptonians, but like they weren't body snatching. They were just Kryptonians that were alive and somehow got there. I think they came out of like Phantom Zone or something like that. I don't fully remember. It's been a while since I watched season 9. But it just kind of reminds me of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to put that out there.
Mm-hmm. So we cut back to the I don't remember their last name, but Sarah
Cushing
thinks,
family.
huh?
Cushing.
Sure. So Sarah thinks that Cam was out getting drunk, and so
And
she
that
gets
Lana's covering up for him.
yeah, so she gets pissed off and leaves, and I'm just like, just out here
I would
white
get my ass
peopling,
whooped.
because
Right, I would get my ass whooped, or I wouldn't be allowed to come back home.
yeah, basically you leave like that. Oh, you just not coming back then, right? Because how old is she?
Bye.
15, 16? Is she 16? If she's 16,
They
like
gotta be.
I don't have to
They're
let you
like
come back.
they're
Like,
like freshmen, sophomores, so they're like like in the 14,
yeah.
15,
If
16
she's
range.
16, they don't have to let her come back. So, um,
And it was funny because she was like, "You're covering up for him," and I was just like, "And you're correct.
yeah,
You are absolutely
100%.
correct."
I'm covering up for the fact that he's possessed by a fucking alien.
Right, like it's not for what you think it is, but yeah, I'm doing just that.
Mm-hmm.
And she tells Kyle that like I need to know what's going the fuck on with you. To Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't say his name like that. I can't.
Yeah.
And then, so meanwhile, over at the farm, the cat farm, Lois is trying to get a hold of Lana because she's scared, and because Kyle just tried to kill her. And General Granddad says he will send some people to check on Lana and her family in case Kyle has, gone home
Mm-hmm.
to roost. Um, and Clark comes home and he tells everyone, well, not everyone, he tells the family. I wrote he told the Kent family that Edge is his brother because I don't know if he told General Granddad.
I think they ended up telling them, but
Yeah,
yeah.
they didn't show it, that was off screen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Lois tells Clark that, yo, before you start fighting and the destruction, you should probably verify if this shit's true first.
Yeah. So
By
he heads
going
up
to
to the
she's
fortress on.
right, alluding that he should go to the fortress and ask Jor-El to confirm, which he does. And Jor-El says, "Yeah, Zeta Rho um, always wanted to colonize other places, but
Yeah,
I'm
he's an
not into that
asshole. We
shit."
don't do that, but he does. So.
And then he proceeded to say, "Clark, Kal-El, I can't help you because this ain't my shit. This is your mother's shit." And I was just like, "Wow, this is the epitome of I don't know. Go ask your mother."
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Like your mama did this shit. I have no idea. I can't help you. So
Because it's her technology that did it. But he tells Clark that colonizing other civilizations was never his mother's intention, as far
speaking
as
of
he
the
knew.
tech, though, the fact that it's called the Eradicator got my senses tingling because we have not watched this together yet, which we need to do. We need to schedule this. But in Reign of the Superman, of the Supermen,
That's the
that,
next one we watch, right?
yes, that name, the Eradicator, is important.
Got you.
Not exactly like this, but similar to this. And I'm like, that's clever, especially since you got, John Henry Irons in here too. I'm just like, okay, I see what you're doing here. This is cool. It's a very interesting way to go about this, and I like it. Those of you who are familiar with the comics will know what I'm talking about. Just the fact they named it the Eradicator is pretty cool. Anyway, finish what you were saying.
I was gonna say we get back to the house or the farm, and Jordan and Jonathan are talking about their concerns, and Jonathan's like, "What if this is the shit that went off on the other Earth that caused all that shit to happen?" And I was like,
Valid
"I mean,
question.
you can't rule it out."
Yeah, very valid question. And they're all just trying to dismiss it. I'm like, he's asking a very valid question here, people.
I feel like when it comes to like situations like this, when like there's like kids and one of them has abilities and the other doesn't, it's always the one that doesn't that be asking the right questions of what if da 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 da. But then after all that, General Granddad says that they all found Kyle. Well, his people found Kyle, and
Yeah.
I was just about to say like it doesn't take much to find him. He was fucking home.
Yeah. You're like, we found him. Where's he at? At his house. Like,
Where else would he be? And so Kyle and Lana were talking, and he's all pissy about her saying that, like, Edge didn't want him and da 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 da, and that he went there out of spite. And it's like, now look at you. Now look at you, dumbass.
mm-hmm.
Now you don't own your body anymore.
Yeah, so she starts asking them questions about the whole process and everything, and we're just like, oh yeah.
And
So it's pretty much all the things we already knew, but she didn't know. So
right, Lois comes in and she's just like, "What's up?" And then Kyle or whoever the fuck is inhabiting him attacks them
yeah.
both and attacks them both. And Lois has a handy dandy kryptonite rock to punch him, but so the DOD can contain him. And then they update,
Got him.
got him. They update Lana on the ex-kryptonite shit. So now she's about to be told about all the weird shit going on in Smallville again. And she identifies this doctor called Dabney Donovan. I feel like they just did like a random generator for a name, and they were just like, how could we make his name DDD?
Alliteration is fun.
But so you find out this doctor used to work at MIT and he left to work for Edge, and they were just like, that's crazy. But he also has like these crazy dual degrees that I don't fully remember, but it would help
One of them
have
is
them if
genetics,
you're trying
and
to
there was another
transfer.
I don't remember the other
something
one.
about neurology.
Yeah.
And it was like, it has dual degree. His dual degrees are just like degrees that help if you're trying to do body snatchers. And then General Granddad, asked Kyle about the doctors, and now at this point, I'm putting Kyle in italics because we know that's not the real Kyle.
Yeah.
And then when he's like, I ain't saying anything, just starts telling all these threats. General Granddad turns on some kryptonite lights.
Yeah, he just like, yo, we not playing this. We going torture now because you like not cooperating. And I'm just like, so we can torture aliens? That's where the line is. If it's aliens, you can torture them. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the kids back at the diner, I think, right? Yeah. And, this is probably like my favorite point in the whole episode because I literally had said crazy dual degrees that would help if you're trying to do body snatchers. And then Jonathan makes a body snatchers reference. And I was just like, booyah.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one of those great moments.
Yeah, when John was like, you know what? I'm just going to tell her what the fuck is going on. Because it's just like so much easier. We're not going to, fuck this. Look.
I high-fived
your daddy
myself
is not
and
your
then
daddy.
pat myself in the back. Right. And I was like, they made a body snatcher reference after I said it.
I remember the first time I saw Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I was at my grandmother's house in Louisiana. We were watching it. It freaked me out too. Like it was just like, yo, this is creepy as hell. See, like the whole like them like pointing and screaming and stuff. The whole point and scream thing like creeped me out for like days afterwards.
But so Jonathan tells Sarah that she should lay off her mom and dad. And I was just like, pause, slow motion for a quick second. A few weeks of weird doesn't erase years of the shit that Kyle did to his family. I was like, ease up on them in this specific instance where, Lana's trying to take on a lot. And Kyle is clearly not Kyle at the moment. But I'm just like, other than that, hold on to the other shit that they traumatized you with Sarah. Like, hold on to that so you can unpack it and heal from it.
Yeah.
But then Clark and Lois are together and they're talking. And Clark literally, like I wanted to point out, literally with his super hearing, heard that they found Donovan. And he goes with them and tells Donovan that he needs to reverse this shit like yesterday.
Right. I can't do that though.
Like, he's right. He's like, I don't even really understand the technology. I'm just pressing the same button sequence that they told me to press. In which you need to find the person who invented it so that they can reverse it. And we're just like, so Kal-El's mother.
Supermom.
So it's like, right. So pretty much you're telling me that the gist of this episode is going to be that they're going to have to restore his mother, or we're going to find out that she's already been restored and or she's up next.
Yeah.
But they do it. Lana sees Superman in flesh for the first time, and Lois is like, bitch, this is light work because you sleep with him every night. Because you sleep next to him.
Lana used to ride that dick too. So,
And that was also my thing. Like when she was looking at him, like later on, before he approached her, I was just like, you've known Clark your entire life. Your entire life. And you're telling me glasses throw you off? reading glasses throw you off. I digress. You know, that they want to restore Lana from her backup. And yeah, that's where I am with this episode at this point. They want to restore Lana from her iCloud backup or her Kryptonian backup, and Lana volunteers as tribute. And this shit got confusing because I keep writing Lana when I keep meaning to write Lara, and I was just like, what's with all the fucking L's?
That's why I call her Supermom, so I don't get confused.
Lex, Lionel, Lana, Lois, Lara. The fuck?
Yeah. See, that's why you give everybody nicknames so you don't have those confusions. You still know who everybody is, but you distinguish anyway.
I guess. But anywho, you know, she's the ideal candidate because she's been in Smallville her whole life. She knows the risk. You know, she's like, you don't have to find anyone. She wants to fix what she stood by and just let happen while Kyle backed up Edge the whole time to the city.
Mm-hmm.
Or to the town, because they're not a city. Lois warns that it's a huge risk and she may not come back, and she's just like, I gotta do it. So the boy's trying to get Sarah to see her dad, and I was like, is this like some kind of ploy to get him to remember or what? Because I don't think it works this way.
No, Sarah just wanted to see her daddy.
Yeah, and so General Granddad's like, what are y'all doing? But then lets them in anyway. And she approaches the cell, and the guy, whoever is random Kryptonian, tells Sarah that daddy is no more, and then he tells Jonathan later on that he's going to kill him first when he's free because he's the reason why he's there. And then we have this conversation between Superman and Lana where he has to pretend like he hasn't known Lana for his entire fucking life and says, like, you know, thanks for doing this, but like, you don't have to do this, but thanks for doing this. And then she goes through the process, and Lara explains that she didn't want this shit to happen. She talks about how she met up with Zeta Rho, which was a genetic match, and then she fell in love with Jor-El. You know, basic shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole time this is happening, I was like, can Lana hear the conversation between them?
No. Remember, because because Kyle talked about it, like he completely blacks out when the Kryptonian takes over, so he has no idea what happened. True. So she doesn't know.
Because I was just like, I feel like we wanted to let Lana know what was going on, but without, you know, revealing secret identities. But I digress, since we know.
Yeah, so she still doesn't know. She doesn't know what's happening during that time.
So Sarah and the boys are back at the diner again, and she's not taking things well because the last time she spoke to her father, she called him a drunk, and she was like, you know, stop fucking promising me shit. Leave me the fuck alone. And, or maybe, no, it wasn't the promising shit. She was just like, you're a drunk. Leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
And and Jonathan tells Jordan that he gotta be there for Sarah, and he's not sorry for telling her what happened. And to be honest, as he is one of the few people who is on the inner circle who doesn't have powers, I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, but he gets to the point where he's just like, fuck this.
He's just like, I'm tired of all these fucking secrets.
He said the same thing to old man Lane when he was just like, yo, like, I'm tired of your bullshit. So yeah, I told her, and we brought her here because fuck you.
And I'm still mad at the shit you did last week.
Yeah, he was like, it's about your brother. Like, yo, that was fucked up. I'm still not happy about that, but that's not why I did this.
So, Sarah she tells Jordan that she doesn't like the last time she spoke to her dad, and Jordan tells her she's got to hold on to hope. Then we see Edge and his lackey Leslie, and she's like, I can help, and he's like, I don't need your help. I'm gonna do it myself. Superman made his choice. And it flips back to the base where Lara is explaining how the fucking shit works. I'm not even gonna go into detail on it, but pretty much everything's reversible as long as you do it before the process completes. The only thing is, like, just like my implant. It's not even just that. Just like my fucking implant, this shit's not the same for everyone. If you give in, it's quicker. If you don't, it's longer or whatever. I assume it's not the same side effects for everyone.
Okay.
Is all I'm saying. But so pretty much we're trying to get everyone done in one mass, I don't want to say execution, but in like one mass process of reversing everyone. And Laura's like, you got to have enough energy to rival the sun. And it was like, good luck. We don't have that. Edge shows up at the farm and Clark goes to meet up with him and they just talk. He wants to know why Superman loves the humans so much. And we find out that when he landed in the UK, they did him dirty. And then as I failed to not point out, or I didn't fail to point out in my notes, it makes you realize where the United States learned it from. They just perfected it.
From the
Just
British.
Right. Like, it's always funny when you think about the ties that America still has to Britain, despite going through despite going through an entire war to separate from them. To still do this.
It's because they were like, no, we want to colonize. You don't get to colonize us anymore. We want to do our own colonizing. That was
right. Like they're just like, we're gonna do it and we're gonna do it better.
Mm-hmm.
But so, he tells him what he went through and he's gonna make it right on his terms without Superman. And Sarah apologizes to Jordan later on because she was being a jerk to Jordan about his secretiveness since he had to hide all this shit. And I was just like, okay, I get it. But I mean, it's okay to be upset when he's being secretive.
Yeah, you didn't
because he's being secretive. Right, you didn't know. But it's just like, okay, let's not be so hard on ourselves. It's not shit on Sarah Day. Jordan's super hearing randomly works and he hears some shit going on. And then all of a sudden, random people in town just randomly take off in the sky. And it was like, that's everyone. We've changed.
Yeah, Kryptonians are activated. They take off. It's a bunch of them. They all join up with Edge up against Superman. Superman like, oh, I got to get the fuck up out of here. Like, yo,
I'm gonna create a solar flare because I have enough energy to rival the sun.
Yeah, give me the Eradicator. I'm gonna focus all my energy into the Eradicator and activate this shit and shut all of them down.
Yo, do you think if Superman really just kind of like, beamed into the sun long enough, it would blow up?
Maybe. It's a good question.
I mean, they said it was enough energy to rival the sun.
For a period of time, yeah.
True. But so he creates a solar flare.
Yeah, he uses his energy along with all the other Kryptonians, doing the laser blast eyes things at the same time. And they's like, no, and Edge stop!
Notices, and he was like, stop them, no. And then I was like, that does not look like fun. And then I was like, but does it work?
Yeah, it worked because it blasted everybody,
back down to the ground. What I was confused about was that, so Clark, stressed that everyone had to move, right? And Sarah was in the tent with Kyle when all that should happen. And it was just like, was it safe for Sarah to stay there?
Being close to the Kryptonians wasn't the problem. Being close to the solar flare that when it first went off was the problem. So she's fine.
Well, I mean, like, okay, because I was just like, what? And then I know it was like minor, but why did Kyle call Sarah daughter in Spanish? Are they Spanish? Are they part Spanish? Is the actor who plays Kyle Spanish?
When did that happen?
When they did the reversal and Kyle woke up in the cage, he said, Mija, what happened? And I was just like, since when did we start speaking Spanish?
I don't even remember that happening, but okay.
I happened to notice it because I watch everything with captions. And for some of the episodes, I had to keep rewinding and fast forwarding because I kept getting distracted. But
Oh.
anywho, I mean, it was very minor. It's not like a big deal. It was just something I happened to notice, and I was just like, since when did we do that? But it's not a problem. But whatever.
So
Superman
yes.
gets blasted somewhere cold, and
Well,
I'm
up
assuming
towards
it's
the
somewhere near
fortress
the
here.
fortress.
Yeah, he's close. He's almost at the fortress. He don't make it all the way in though. He just on the outside, just passed out, just on the ground.
And then Lar and like Leslie Lar and Edge are somewhere together, but I'm just like, I don't even know where this doesn't. I don't know where this is either.
Yeah, me neither. But Edge is like, all is not lost as they walk into some cave. So I'm guessing he has his own fortress of solitude or something. I don't
I
know.
feel like every Kryptonian does. I'm just coming to learn that because I think like Kara has her own.
I think she just goes to the other one. She goes to Clark's.
But so does that mean that they have different like, is there different logins if they go in so that they get different people when they're up there? Because
Maybe.
I feel like Kara, the few times we've seen her there and talking to like whatever is sentient there, it's been someone different. It's not Jarrell.
Yeah, maybe they got like different sections. They got like, separate bedrooms.
Perhaps.
But yeah,
I
she
don't know.
definitely says she goes to the Fortress of Solitude and it's supposed to be the same as Clark's. Like, I think that's the thing. I don't know.
Okay. But next week, when you think we would get answers, we don't. We're going down memory lane, which might bring answers, but
We'll see.
yeah, we'll see.
Well, Mara, who's winning this week?
I'll say Cecile because she got her body back
It's a solid
or her
choice.
mind back. She got her mind back, and she healed from her trauma, or she's starting to heal from her trauma.
You right. You right. I'm gonna give
I
you
feel
that
like
one because at first
I
I was
feel
gonna
like
say Chester because he now feels accepted by the team, but like you might be right about Cecile. But I'm gonna give you Cecile. I'm gonna go with that with you too. I
I'm
agree.
because I'm really big on people of color, especially women of color, having peace of mind.
Mm-hmm. Who's losing?
I say Edge.
Really? He
I mean,
seemed
his
pretty
plan got
confident.
set back.
I mean, but he seemed pretty confident. He was like, "Yeah, all is not lost," with a little smirk on his face. So I don't think he really losing.
I feel it's just that I feel well. Remember, I find minor inconveniences worthy to jump off the top of my job from. So you know. So the minor inconveniences to me are a complete setback.
That was a minor inconvenience. Yeah.
When you got all that money and knowledge, I find it to be only minor because he's just gonna keep doing the dumb shit that he wants to do.
I'm going with Sarah Lance.
I did forget about that, but you know,
I mean, you just
yes,
found out that you're dead. So, I mean,
I was like, well, damn,
yeah, yeah,
that sucks,
yeah, yeah.
but that's life.
But yeah, I think that'll be it for this week's episode of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. Do not forget you can follow us on both Twitter and Instagram at The Creation World. That is at TheCreatia World. As always, I'm not telling you how to spell world. If you don't know how to spell it, get a goddamn dictionary. Also, you can follow us on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/creation world. Hit that like button. Have a good time there. Also, follow us on Twitch too, because that's a thing now for us again. Twitch.tv/creation world. Let's see what else. Creationworld.com. Go there to see everything. Figure out how to get to all of our shit. Patreon.com/creation world. If you want to give us
You
some
can also
support.
learn more about us
Yeah, on
personally.
creationworld.com. Yeah, all of us individually. But yeah, patreon.com if you want to support us, get some extra goodies and all that kind of stuff for your support. It's cool. Wrestling fans, smacking it raw every week. This week is the 200th episode of the podcast. I will be
Oh,
back on that
really?
episode. Yes, we hit episode 200 this weekend, so I will be there. It comes out Saturday. Check it out.
Oh well,
Um,
congratulations.
Thank you. Let's see what else. YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube.
I don't want to keep telling y'all. Please subscribe to the YouTube.
Um, I forget. Oh, yeah. This week we were following E3, doing follow-ups to all that. So you can check that out everywhere we have anything. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, podcast services. It's everywhere. Um You can follow me on both Twitter and Instagram at Sir_Cussalott. That is at SIR_CUSSALOTT. Where can they find you, Shark?
Instagram and Twitter at Mara the Shark. That's MARADASHARK.
All right. Cool. I think that's it. We'll catch y'all next week.
Woo!
Until then, we out.
Bye.